What made you finally realize that the scapegoat of your family deserved better? My older sister Sarah was the scapegoat. My brother Leo was the golden child. I was the one in the middle who just kept his head down. Sarah was messy, artistic, and always forgot to do her chores. Leo had perfect grades, a clean room, and never talked back. Anything that went wrong, it was always Sarah's fault. Lost TV remote? Sarah had it last. A dish broke in the sink? Must have been Sarah being careless. The final straw was when my dad's old guitar went missing. It wasn't a fancy guitar, but it was the one he'd had since he was a teenager. It had a deep scratch on the back from when he dropped it at a high school dance. He kept it in its case in the corner of the living room, a piece of our family history. One Tuesday, it was just gone. My parents went into a panic. My dad looked heartbroken. My mom immediately turned on Sarah. "You sold it, didn't you? For art supplies or concert tickets?" Sarah just stood there, her face pale, and said, "No, I didn't," but nobody believed her. "It's always you, Sarah. Why can't you be more responsible like your brother?" my dad yelled. The fight was huge. They grounded her for the rest of the year and told her she had to pay my dad back the $500 they said the guitar was worth. She spent the whole week crying in her room. I felt bad, but I didn't say anything. It was easier to just believe the story. A few days later, my mom took a different approach. She didn't yell anymore. Instead, she just started watching. She noticed small things. She saw that Leo, who was always saving money for college, had suddenly bought a brand new expensive gaming computer. He said he'd won the money in an online tournament, and we all believed him. Why wouldn't we? He was Leo, the perfect son. But my mom saw the way he avoided looking at the empty corner where the guitar used to be. She saw how he'd flinch whenever Dad mentioned it. She didn't say anything. She just kept watching, and her quiet worry made me start to wonder. That weekend, I needed to borrow a USB drive for a school project. Leo wasn't home, so I went into his perfect, clean room to look for one. I checked his desk drawer, under a pile of college brochures. That's where I found it. A small yellow paper ticket from a pawn shop downtown. The ticket was for one vintage acoustic guitar. The date on it was 2 days before the guitar had been discovered missing. My whole world just tilted. I grabbed the ticket and went straight to Sarah's room. I found her sitting on her floor, sketching in a notebook, looking defeated. I showed her the ticket without saying a word. She looked at it, then looked at me, and her eyes filled with tears. "You know?" she whispered. I just nodded, feeling sick. "Why didn't you say anything?" I asked her. "Why did you let them blame you?" Her answer is the reason I'm telling this story. She shook her head and said, "Because Dad would be more hurt knowing Leo betrayed him than he is thinking I was just irresponsible. It's easier for them to be angry at me than to be disappointed in him." In that moment, I realized Sarah wasn't the screw-up. She was the only one in the entire house who was trying to protect everyone. She was taking all the blame, all the anger, just to save our parents from the pain of knowing their golden child wasn't so golden after all. I took the pawn ticket downstairs and put it on the kitchen table, right where my parents would see it. I didn't have to say a word. The silence that followed was louder than all the yelling had been.